What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and it appears that Elon Musk has just sent his first email to Twitter staff, and it's not exactly super upbeat. It's pretty straight to the point, and it paints a pretty grim picture of what it's going to be like to work at Twitter going forward. Now, for most of us, the idea of no longer being able to work from home isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but it is something that's become the norm, in particular since the lockdowns and in Silicon Valley. Now, I've incorrectly in the past kind of labeled all work at homers as lazy. That's not true. However, there are many people who do take advantage of work at home, and it does hurt their productivity. You have to be the right kind of person to work from home, and not a lot of people are. And this particular email, on top of that, shed some pretty spicy meatballs on Twitter staff. By the way, our big election post show today, 5 o'clock on this channel, me and Sydney Watson, perhaps some other special guests. We do it live. So really, really like you to be here. And also all the new people, thanks for hanging around. I want to get into the story after a quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Kamikoto. That's right, Kamikoto makes Japanese steel kitchen knives using traditional techniques from Japan. Over 800 years of Japanese technology and expertise have gone into creating the steel that this knife has been meticulously handcrafted from, using techniques that date all the way back to the Edo period of Japan. Kamikoto only uses steel sourced from mills in Japan. Each knife comes in a beautiful, heavy-duty wood box. It makes sure that the knife is stored safely. Each knife is individually inspected and comes with a lifetime guarantee. These are knives that I personally own and use. I got a set through this promotion. Over Christmas, I used it to cut a beautiful brisket that I had made for the holidays, and cut ham and turkey and all sorts of things. Not only did it work flawlessly, but it was a talking point at the table. The knives felt like the perfect weight. They were perfectly balanced. And on top of all of this, just for you, my subscribers, you guys can get an additional $50 off any purchase you make with discount code TheQuartering. So click the link below and go to kamikoto.com/thequartering and use promo code TheQuartering to save an extra $50 today. Elon Musk ends remote working for Twitter staff and tells them to prepare for difficult times ahead in his first direct email to employees since taking over. He said there's no way to sugarcoat the economic outlook and the times ahead that are coming for everyone. Elon Musk has ended remote working for Twitter staff as he told the company to prepare for difficult times ahead in his first email to employees since taking over as CEO. The email sent late last night stated that there was no way to sugarcoat the economic outlook. I mean, I thought we were building back better, but whatever. According to Bloomberg, he said that the poor forecast will affect an advertising-dependent company such as Twitter. Well, of course. Even YouTube. I've talked about how earnings on YouTube just aren't what they were last year, and they're certainly not what they were 2 years ago, even for like the same amount of views. In the email, he also announced he was banning working from home, expected staffers in office at least 40 hours a week. The hours are subject to conditions approved by him as the head of New Twitter. He said, the road ahead is arduous and will require intense work to succeed. Policies mentioned in last night's email are effective immediately. In his latest warning to new staff, just days after he sacked almost half of the company's global workforce and of 7,500. Musk's removal of remote working comes after Twitter previously established a permanent arrangement with staff members to allow them to work from anywhere. And look, by the way, no disrespect to workers who now want to look for a different job based on this. There are a lot of people that when, you say, okay, well, you can work from home permanently, they're going to make lifestyle changes. Maybe they're going to become the primary caregiver for their kids. And now if they have to come into the office, that makes big changes for them. Or things like that. So maybe they sold their car. They're like, I don't need a car because I don't have to drive to work. There's all sorts of stuff that this will kind of create an issue with staff on. But, I mean, that's how he works, man. He doesn't roll with stay-at-home work. The new Twitter head is against working from home and is only granting exceptions and exemptions individually on a case-by-case basis. So maybe they'll have an option. Billionaire Musk has also taken away, quote, days of rest from Twitter staff calendars. This was a monthly company-wide day off that was introduced during the lockdowns. Musk introduced a raft of changes since he became the head of Twitter almost 2 weeks ago. I mean, what the heck is a day of rest? That's called Saturday and Sunday, bro. Like, that's Saturday and Sunday. That's like 4 o'clock. It starts 4 o'clock on Friday. By the way, everyone that's tuning in, there's been a whole bunch of new viewers to the channel, new subscribers. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. If you're watching and you're enjoying the coverage, obviously I cover more than just Elon Musk. Please do consider subscribing. I know it creates an issue if you don't have an account already, and you might have to create one. Wherever you're watching, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Odyssey, I hope that I've earned your subscription. Don't do it just because I'm asking, but do it because you like the product. It's exceedingly helpful to creators, and it helps makes finding our videos easier, and it lets YouTube know that people are actually watching the channel. The article continues. He's also pushing for users to pay $8 a month for the verification blue tick on Twitter, and said then email to staff last night that he wants a social media site to make half of its revenue from subscriptions. Musk is also working on finding and suspending any verified bots, trolls, or spam over the next few days, according to a separate email. His announcement ending remote work for Twitter staff came hours after he pulled the plug on the new gray official label because he believed it was another way of creating a two-class system. The badge was reserved for high-profile accounts such as media outlets and celebrities, but Musk ended it within hours of its rollout Wednesday morning. Along with it being a, quote, an aesthetic nightmare, the light-colored gray emblem wasn't addressing the fact that there are too many entities that would be considered official or have sort of a legacy blue checkmark, Musk said during a town hall meeting. But I go back to what I said earlier, which is that we're going to be extremely vigorous about eliminating deception, he said. If someone tries to impersonate a brand, the account will be suspended, and we will keep their $8. Musk, however, is still moving full steam ahead with plans to charge $8 a month for the blue tick. He tweeted the blue check will be the great leveler minutes after removing the gray check. This is something that, I agree with. We see, earlier today I covered, AOC having a complete melty over being forced to see replies from the plebs. And again, I've also talked about how you have to look at the bigger picture. The first dollar is the most difficult to get from customers. Elon knows that people are willing to pay $8 a month for a lot of things that they hardly use. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. You use these things like once a week. There are millions of people that use Twitter all day long, every day. So all he has to do is add enough value to extract $5 to $10 out of each of those users, and he could have Netflix level revenue. Maybe not Netflix level, but you get 100 million people paying $8 a month. That's 800 million a month. You're talking about 10 billion a year in revenue. He's making his money back pretty quick. That's not even including the ads. Now, ad supported is something that is a big deal. Maybe there'll be another tier of the blue check mark where you get the blue check, but you get the same number of ads, and that's half price. Maybe that's the thing. There are levels to this. And Elon is going to roll out additional features for Twitter, I'm telling you, that will entice people to make sure that they pay their $8. And once he gets, look, if he gets 10 million people paying, it's 80 million a month in revenue. That's $1 billion a year in additional revenue. If he gets 10 million people a month, you're talking about making billions a year off the Twitter, off the check mark. If he gets 100 million, 50 million paid subscribers, that's clearly the model he's going for. And I don't know why people didn't see that going into it, but to me, it just makes sense. Of course, video producer Marquez Brownlee tweeted that his second verification had disappeared, to which Musk responded saying, I just ended it. The blue check was once a coveted feature for users, but Musk feels it creates a lords and peasants system for those who have or don't have it. Again, I disagree with him on this. I think that they just needed to fix the verification system. and like let people who needed to be verified actually get verified, not have political bias, and then see how things went. Charging for it, however, though, has been amazing to watch. All the all the existing verified blue check marks having complete meltdowns because they can't handle seeing plebes in their replies. Musk is standing firm on his idea that Twitter will be extremely vigorous about eliminating deception of bots. But if I go back to what I said earlier, which is what we're going to be extremely vigorous about eliminating deception, he said while speaking via the platform's Twitter Spaces feature, which, by the way, could also get a lot better. If someone tries to impersonate a brand, they'll be gone, and they can keep doing that, and we'll just keep their $8 over and over again. Great, we can do it all day long. They will stop. He's right. He's 100% right about that. There are key points here. If they count as engaged in trickery, we will suspend it. They will try, of course, they will try. But it starts to get expensive, and they will start to need a lot of credit cards and a lot of phones. Remember that the card, they'll be able to ban the card at the card level and the phone at the phone level. This is very, very smart. You're going to need hundreds of phones and hundreds of different credit cards to be able to keep creating these accounts over and over again. It will remove, buying blue checks to impersonate people is not going to be financially tenable. It's just not. Will it do anything to remove bots? No, I don't think so. But what it will do is make as more people get it, it will make your verified tab more kind of clean. And I think that's what he's thinking about. It's going to be interesting to see. We've seen this Yole gentleman tweeting out a lot about, things changing for Twitter security, or for getting more secure. Or it's a YOEL, I think. Yeah, it's Yole Roth. He tweeted out a big thread, which Twitter, updated on our efforts to combat hateful conduct. We've not only mitigated the recent surge in harmful behavior, but we've reduced impressions on this content in search by 95% relative to even prior baselines. We're continuing to make Twitter safer every day. We did two main things: suspended several thousand of trolling and abusive accounts at the core of the surge, filtering tweets that we detected as hateful and abusive. Those steps take away many of the gratifications of trolling. Bans are frustrating and take work and resources to try and circumvent. Visibility filtering deprives trolls of the attention that they're trying to reach and get. As a crazy leftist, Yole seems to, be effective so far in his job, as long as he doesn't allow his biases to kind of allow Twitter to become what it was again. I'm fine with him keeping his job for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. We'll see you tonight on Sydney Watson and I's election special, 5 o'clock Central. We'll talk to you again real soon.